Welcome to the Circle of Grace 1. I'm your host, Chief Principal Teacher and Founder, Bishop Francis E. Revels-Bey. Boy, is it warm in here, warm outside. But I've been doing some gardening. It's something that I have to do every now and then to help out. Anyway, this is live webcast number 145. And this is Decree and It Shall Be. It's the spiritual and metaphysical ministry portions of the Circle of Grace 1. And the Circle of Grace 1 was founded on July 2nd, 1999 A.D. under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence. And of course it has its own spiritual and metaphysical ministry, which is called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. So there's so much more that we're offering right now. Let me make a slight adjustment with my equipment. We have so many new gadgets to work with here. And I'm just stepping in from outside, from watering flowers, the vegetables, to everything else. So, anyway, this is the Circle of Grace 1, and we do a weekly show for about the past 6, 7, 8 weeks. Now I've been coming on with 2 shows on Wednesday morning. Usually I try to come on about 11, but I did say that I would be marching on closer to 11:30, and here it is 11:45 or so. But anyway, I'm here now, and what's been going on, I've been doing some teaching, showing you some of the other disciplines that I have underneath my lid, so to speak, and in my heart. For the past 37 years, I've been at this. I also began on July 2nd of 1974 in the path that I'm in right now. And this is a golden opportunity to share all these teachings, taking some of the introductory levels and putting them into a smaller, or actually a broader way of looking at things. Now, last Wednesday morning I gave a nice synopsis on handwriting is mind writing, which was talking about the highlights of graphology. And at a later point I'm going to put up some shorter versions so that they can go up on YouTube, and then you'll be able to see some of the particular things about handwriting analysis that you might want to know about. And especially when it comes to people forging signatures just from a regular script, from a check to deeds to whatever. Now also, another thing, the week prior to that, I came on and I did a nice dissertation on palmistry. And then the week before that, I did a nice teaching webinar on the tarot, what I call Tarot Basics 1, 2, 3, and I talked about the 4 aces, and then I gave you a connection between the magician, the high priestess, the hermit, and the fool, and we looked at some other interesting cards and ways and analysis. So these are some of the things that I'm bringing out, just not numerology. Another time we're going to talk about dreams. And I think maybe, since that just kind of fell out of my mouth, dreams, perhaps that's one of the things that I'm going to talk about. Well, I'm Bishop Francis E. Revels-Bey, and I'm the founder, host, and chief principal teacher for the Circle of Grace 1, as well as the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance, which is my spiritual and metaphysical institute as well as ministry. And the institute came into being 2 years ago on February the 7th, 2009. So the ministry, spiritual and metaphysical ministry form, is approximately, at this time, 12 years old. But the work has been going on a very long time and has fell into this opportunity. I want to give thanks, before I release this prayer, I want to give thanks to people who are able to come through. I'm understanding just this weekend that people in Twitter like tuning in and watching on their smartphones, Androids, and so forth. And so I want to thank anyone that's from the Twitter crowd, whether you're following me or you're just out there having others follow you. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in whenever you can. And the same with my fellow friends over at Facebook and anybody else who's out there, people on YouTube. Thank you very much. Well, through divine power and by divine grace, may the God that's within you awaken you, reawaken you to your true self. May the God in you show you a way that you can express divine creativity, divine wellness in you, divine perfection in your life. And may you have a greater remembrance that's more expansive than you can ever imagine. May you be able to touch that part of yourself that is going through a very deep change. And as we go through this paradigm shift, meaning the ideal shift, may we understand that all things are shifting, not just here in our universe, but throughout the other universes, not just on Earth, all the other planet systems here within our galaxy. So may you understand that everything is going through a change. It is not just you. It is just not vegetation. It's not just crystals. It's not just the sand that you see and the pebbles upon the sand, the dust crystals of Earth. It is everything that is changing, and everything must change in order to advance. And so I reach out to you with this prayer, and I want to give a prayer to those family members who are going through difficult times right now, with people who have passed and transitioned into the light. Many of their elders are going a lot, many children, people who have lost family members through wars. May we have a prayer that reaches out and embraces them, and may the beacon light of unconditional love and divine grace and remembrance be there for them and their families. May all of you that have people that have just been serving for such a long time in the military, may you see them come home back to you alive and well in your arms. May those be their mothers who are serving, fathers who are serving, uncles, grandparents, and those even in the local, as the Merchant Marines and those who are there in the reserves and the National Guards. May you come together as one family. May all of you that are doing something that's in service to the planet, that's in service to the animal kingdom, that's in service to people in hospitals and hospices and nursing homes, may you all be blessed as well. Many of you who are school teachers, may you be blessed as well for the job that you are doing to assist in the educational process of all children, no matter where children are in the world today. May you also be applauded, and may you also be rewarded for the work that you're doing helping elders, those of you that are tutoring elders, and helping those who have never been able to read or write. We give thanks there. And may we also give thanks for people who are dealing with situations where very difficult mannerisms within the family, where children are struggling with themselves, struggling with their peers at school, just going through so much. May we give a prayer and a healing prayer that connects there as well. And for those of us who work in this field as light bearers, light workers, light teachers and healers, shamans of all types, may we all continue to grow, but take care of ourselves as well. That is essential. May we work toward having a more powerful word, a more powerful voice, not only globally, but locally. And locally meaning within your own families, within your own circles. May your words speak of kindness when kindness is there. May your heart speak of strength when strength is needed and courage. May your ears pick up the calls or the cries of humanity, but may you see and may you understand that many things that we are experiencing and many things that other people are experiencing are things that they have chosen to experience. May we understand that we have chosen these pathways through our thoughts, through our thinking process. And we've drawn them in closer through our feelings and our deep emotions. So in this prayer, may this prayer resonate with thee, with each and every one of you, that you continue to explore yourself and that you begin to remember the teachings, the callings, the things that you've asked to learn within this lifetime, the things that you've asked to learn within other lifetimes, and ask for a balance to take place. May you realize that it's very possible that you're having that balance, you're having that healing right now, and that you keep your heart open to welcome, because you are on a journey. You're on a journey that it takes for you to have a greater understanding of why you're thinking the way you think, why the way you feel the way you think, why certain life experiences happen to you, that you are creating this as you go along. It is hard for us to comprehend that, and this is something that we all have been learning in the past 40 years. But what we need to understand is we need to continue to explore, we need to continue to clear ourselves emotionally of the past, of guilt, of shame, of sorrow, of sadness, and realize that some of that sadness is not yours. Some of that deep sorrow and melancholy and depression is not yours. Depression is anger turned within. So be aware that you might be taking on other people's stress, other people's emotions, other people's burdens. And if you're sensitive to it, sometimes you have to shield yourself off. You have to almost enshroud yourself, but clear the webs. There was a special meditation that was done earlier, this last month, in the middle of the month, and it dealt with the inner mirror of reflection, the inner mirror of emotional wellness, where we begin to look within ourselves and look at our childhoods, and when we were children and teenagers and young adults, and then where we are now, and those of us that are even older than myself, to realize that we've heard a lot of stories, so we have webs over our ears. We've seen a lot of stories. We have webs over our eyes. We speak or repeat a lot of stories. Webs coming out of our mouth. We think about a lot of these stories. Webs all over. And so these webs have caused us to fall in a trench. And fall in a trench in such a way that we feel locked in. So my prayer this morning is that you release yourself, not only from your fears, your doubts, and your illusions, but from the webs that you may have created for yourself, from the webs that other people have tried to push across the table for you to accept, for webs that are not yours and webs that are yours. Through divine power and by divine grace, may this lesson today serve you well. May this lesson serve you in a way that creates freedom right now for you. Freedom for your loved ones, freedom for your children, freedom for your relatives, siblings, freedoms for your peers. But most of all, may you be free here. If you are free here and anchored in the heart's chakra here, then this can open. There are many methods and techniques designed to bring the front and the back channels together just by placing your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your front teeth. If you close your mouth down, that's right about here. If you go up a little higher, that's right here. But when you connect these together, you connect these zones, you have an opportunity to create a balance and to strengthen yourself in a way that you feel better. So, no matter what technique that you use to feel better, no matter what healing process that you use to feel better, no matter what you do to create yourself to feel better, you still have to clear yourself, balance yourself. You still have to find out how you became that way, and then quickly open and expand into a new you. And some of the ways to do that is to continue to connect with many times we feel that we are locked in and cannot move forward. The ancient master prophet Akhenaten says, embrace yourself. Do not flail, do not beat yourself, but do not give yourself illusions either. Work on understanding, not just having a greater understanding, but understanding self, the divine, the God in you, how God expresses through you, how divine source expresses through you. And when we say God, everything in the universe is now expressing through you, and it's been doing so for a long time. You're just now growing in awareness of that. You are now growing in awareness, in remembrance. The key that all masters have taught is to remain detached. Detachment is not forgetting that you are connected to the divine source, but detach from the stories. It's good to know the stories, but do not wallow in the stories of pain. Do not become detached to material things, what is here concrete. Learn about them, use them, but do not become detached to them. Do not become attached to them. When you attach yourself to them, you feel locked in and becomes a burden to you. When you are attached to something on the material, physical side, it's hard for you to let go. These things happen when people are having elders or children in their lives that are getting ready to transition. And because all of those items that you saw that person with, you were hanging on to also. And it gave you a sense of remembrance. And I know because I went through it. Went through it with both of my parents. My father passed in 1978. I was, 26 years of age when he passed. 29 when my mother passed. Both of them passing at age 63 in their life. We have a time when we move from one realm to the next. And we work to clear ourselves so that we can know how to remember and be aware and open to shift and change. So you don't want to stay rooted and holding on. When it comes time for one to move on, you tell them it's okay to move on. And you'll be well. You will. You were well when you came into this earth, and you'll be well when you leave. You'll be well during the process of life on earth and of other parallel realms. It is our time now. We see many people transitioning. Do not be detached. Do not be attached to what you see. Be aware that we're all souls housing a material vessel. When we understand that we are souls, infinite beings of light, housing a material vessel, we can be anywhere, anytime. This is why we keep hearing the phrase, wherever God is, you are. God is everywhere. God lives. Prime source, divine source, is living everywhere at the same time. You see it on different levels and different layers. Amen. What I would like to do right now is take you to a journey of awareness and remembrance. This is Decree and It Shall Be. And Decree and It Shall Be in the morning has been serving free webinars right now for you to get this information, giving you an introductory level, giving you something to work with. So, if you have a gemstone, I have a selenite tabular here, in the tabular family, meaning it's like a tab, a slab. And there's places for me to place my fingers. It's almost like a book, almost like a remote control. You know, kids play Xbox and all those games. It's like that can fit in your hand. Use it. Or just place it nearby you. Now what I want to do is just in case we have viewers that come in, I want them to be aware that they could leave me a message in the chat. So I want to put this here. Now, how I'm going to use this, I'll be able to see what your message is, what your question or your comment is, and then I'll just say it live, okay? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that you can get this, and I have a wireless keyboard, but I might have to tap the screen, so I just want to say welcome to Divine Grace, Blessings, and Remembrance. And this is my opportunity to also just say thank you to all the people from around the United States that have been tuning in and watching this show. Because I understand that some people out connected to Twitter, a company that has formed connected to Twitter, searches through our Twitter and they see which is considered to be the most talked about or the most watched. Apparently, I'm a part of the favorites of Twitter. So I want to thank the people in Twitter for watching. They don't often watch live, but sometimes they do come in and watch at another time. And today's show will be about 60 minutes, maybe 75 minutes long. But in any event, we're going to give you a show. And I want to make sure that people are seeing this and receiving this day, because this is important. Sunday morning I was on for I believe about 90 minutes, 94 minutes, and of course that's the monthly version of the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. It's the monthly ministry, spiritual and metaphysical ministry for the Circle of Grace 1. And this was an opportunity to talk about briefly the vibration of 144, but there's going to be more than 144. People think 144,000. You go on some other websites, people are talking about 1.6 billion people here and another 144 billion people traveling. So there's a lot of souls moving to a higher, I would say, a higher realm of living and understanding. And anybody can get there. It's just a matter of our conscious awareness. So I want to put this out that this is live webcast right now, so people will understand that I'm here today, and I'm always happy to be here. Okay, and this is for, we want to get this out, that this is the 10th of August 2011. So we're going to get that out so people can see that and know that. Now again, when people come on, now if you're on here while I'm here live, I'm not going to be tapping a message or a question into this, but what I'm going to do is just look and see what a person's question has been, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to at this point answer any of your questions as I see it. Now, I'm on an iPad too, so sometimes this wireless connection is jumping back and forth, and we've had already about 10 minutes ago a slight interruption, but a quick reconnection, but it's still broadcasting. It's still recording. So, what I want to do is I want to take you and give you an opportunity to share this journey with me this day. And this is a journey that you can take to be well, to have some crystals. I have another kind of gem crystal rod here, wand, that I can work with as for my hands. And this is also good. It's a strengthening tool for your forearms, too, if you got one that thick. So, what I want to do right now is get you to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, doing this about 3 times. Inhale, and place the tongue to the roof of your mouth, behind your 2 front teeth. Then exhale. Inhale, exhale. Do it again. And if you need to do it a fourth time, do it a fourth time. Then shift all of your awareness of your breathing through your nose without pausing in between. Taking your time. You're not holding the breath at the top of the inhalation nor the bottom of the exhalation. Don't hold your breath. Just inhale. Enjoy it. As you begin to do this, we're going to allow you to have a greater awareness and a greater remembrance. In some of the martial arts schools where they've done meditation, yogic schools for meditation, it's often been taught to follow the breath, meaning be aware when you're inhaling, what it feels like, and when you're exhaling, what it feels like. So you want to get the mind, the totality of who you are, to be calm. You want to get the thoughts that are racing about to settle down. We want to get you to move away from the front lobe here to the back. So place your awareness along your forehead, your hairline, top of your head, the crown, the back of your head, the ears, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, jawline, upper, lower lip, chin, base of the chin, below the lip, chin, and then the neck underneath, right down into your throat, the shoulders. Continue to breathe. Breathe fully using the diaphragm. Diaphragm sits right across here, separates your lungs, keeps your lungs from collapsing down on top of your stomach. Over here, you're looking on that screen there, so you see it, and I'm seeing in reverse, but you'll see it in the right way. You want it so that you're not collapsing the upper part of your thorax, chest, down on top of the abdomen, so you're not pressing down into the liver and stomach and spleen and pancreas. Continue to breathe. Be consciously aware of your breath, in and out. What does it feel like? You're feeling coolness of your breath internally, or you're feeling heat? In the meantime, keep your awareness right now to the base, to the back. You feel a tingling sensation from your crown area going all the way back to the base of your skull, the nape of your neck. Very good. Now what I want you to do, shift your awareness like a yoke down to right here. So you have the clavicle, right in here, the clavicle, or the collarbone. And then, see, I wore this shirt today because I wanted to show you, just as I had this here, is at the base of the throat, and then right here would be in line with the heart, in the middle of the sternum, see. So you want to be placed right there. You're on yourself. Just be aware. Now, if you have a gemstone, you can place that gemstone right there and do the same thing. I'm going to hold mine here. All things give energy and light. All things have the presence of God, even though they've been handled by human hands. Souls within a human vessel, still carrying the vibrations of God, self, your true self, your higher self. The soul of you is in everything. Good. You're beginning now to breathe so that the abdominal area could come forward. I mean, the diaphragm is pulling down a little bit and the abdominal area goes forward. you're feeling better now. You're feeling a greater source of energy. I'm taking this other one and placing it right over the navel area to energize the navel. Now you can flow with this light, flow with this energy, however you want to do it. Perhaps you might, this will be in the system 15, 20 minutes after the show, and you might just want to just go with the flow and replay it later. So maybe just by watching it, it'll be in the archives by about 1:45, 1 o'clock. It'll be there. So it's automatically, I just give it a title or label. What I want you to think of, though, right now is to feel the presence of God as being beautiful inside you, representing beauty. Representing pleasure. Representing unconditional love. That means you're not placing any attachments on yourself, and you're not going to place any attachments on anyone else. Everybody has their own scope on life, their own journey, their own story. Begin to feel the power of your own integrity, your own truth. As the Toltecs would say, your impeccable words of wisdom, your impeccable words of understanding, impeccable words of teaching, your innocence, your power of the innocence, the power of your word creates your reality. Now that we've got you in a state of absolute calmness, I want you to feel a fan of light, a collar of light, like a peacock all around you. Like the tails of the peacock, the feathers are flame, just like that, white light. Let it shift to gold if you must. But the chakra point for the base of the skull is a magenta range, and I want you to think magenta. And as if you were standing behind yourself looking at the base of your skull, I want you to see a flame of magenta spreading up with rays of light reaching behind your ears, over your ears, behind your earlobes, on the nape of your neck, dressed on your neck, where the hair comes down from your hair, headline, head in the back, onto your shoulders like a collar. Envision lapels of light that are lavender, or lilac if you want, going into a royal purple. And on the inside, gold and white and silver, and emerald green and turquoise blue and teal blue coming up. The emblems of colors for the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance, my spiritual and metaphysical school, are ruby reds and pinks, gold and silver, teal blue, turquoise blue, and the all-knowing royal purple or violet. These energies now being soothing to you like streams of light flowing in, around, and through your own eyes, relaxing your face. Now you're ready. If we're ready, we're going to go through the aspects of dreams. I don't want to let you know some of the things that we experience with dreams as you're taking this journey. It's all about dreams. One of the things that you experience about dreams is, are you watching the dream as if it was a movie, like you see it on the screen in front of you, like you're watching TV or your computer, information coming across, or do you feel like you're in the dream? Well, I'm going to give you some key points to remember so that you can tell the difference. from you watching the dream before you in your sleep, or even daydreaming, or when you are in what we call the dream, and you're seeing everything just like you are in your waking state. But one of the things you want to keep in mind about dreams are connected to visions. Dreams are such, they come to us in many ways. Well, one of the ways that dreams come to us when we fall asleep at night, when we usually go off to bed to sleep, to prepare our bodies for the next day. And often when we have these dreams can fall into what they call precognitive, like in the schools of psychology, with Carl Jung and Freud. Those are terms that they used. Or you might think of Stephen LaBarge, was a gentleman out in California who talked about lucid dreaming. And lucid dreaming was to be in the midst of a dream and then wake up consciously while you're still asleep, but in the dream, consciously reawaken yourself and change the outcome of the dream. Or recognize that you are having just a symbolic dream. It's not real. The message, the energy is not real. And one of the things I remember when I was studying his works, I was going into dreams myself back in the early mid-70s. I remember having a dream where I was walking down a street and I could see plenty of people of all nationalities and creeds walking, some embracing, some not, just walking to school or going to work or opening up their shops. And I was on a quest during that time while I was in college, searching for me. And what was so interesting, while in searching for myself, I kept asking in the dream everybody, have you seen these things that I was looking for that were connected to me? Finally, I heard this loud sound. And I looked around, I looked behind me. I didn't see anything behind me, but I could see ahead toward an intersection. The pavement of the street was buckling and breaking up. And as everything stopped toward the intersection, people in the cars, whatever cars they were driving then, they all stopped and got out in amazement. And here was this ship, not an old-fashioned ship with the sails, more like a yacht, but a little bigger than a yacht, but not as big as a cruise liner. Not as big as a cruise liner, but bigger than a yacht. And this guy was on this ship, cutting up the street. And when I looked up, I could see myself. But I was trying to wave to myself, but I wasn't getting any attention from myself that was on. And myself was one of the guests, so to speak, on this ship, having a blast of a time. And at this time when I was in college, I was an art major, so obviously I knew and I saw myself being successful in art. But I did look a little older than the way I looked in my college days. At the time when I had this dream, I was about 19 years of age, a sophomore, freshman, finishing up my freshman year of college, getting ready to go off to the summer to come back for my sophomore year of college. So I was 19 years of age. So we're talking about 1970, 71, spring of 71. Here I am having this experience on campus before an English exam. Waking up in this dream and realizing, because I was studying lucid dreams way back then, realizing that this wasn't real. No boat's going to be cutting up the street like that, at least the size bigger than a yacht and smaller than a cruise ship was going to be doing that. Perhaps seeing myself on there might have been a suggestion of the future, but I knew that that boat wasn't real coming on the street like that. Now, how did I see that though? Well, I was in what you call the dream body. And when you're in your dream body is like being in your body in a waking state, where you see everything but your own face. You can see your hands, you can see your body, most of your body. You don't see your back unless you're in a position where you can see a reflection of yourself. So I knew, through my own research, my own studies, I was in my dream body and traveled into my dream body. Therefore, I was experiencing the dream, but not on the outside, looking at it like it was movie footage. I was actually in it, frame by frame. Now, there's some other things you need to know about dreams, too. Now, people like to know, well, how many dreams, how long does a dream last? Well, what I found out in my research, there's something called REM. REM is rapid eye movement. That means if you could, those of you who have partners, spouses, or you see somebody asleep, watch with their eyes closed, see if their eyes behind their eyelids are jumping. When you see that twitching, what appears to be a twitch, it's not the eye, it's not the upper eye or the lower eye per se, but it is the nerves there. They're starting to twitch. And what happens, rapid eye movement, means that the eyes are almost opening. That means the upper and bottom lids are opening rapidly and closing rapidly. And REM, rapid eye movement, lasts for about 90 seconds. That's about a minute and a half, sometimes a tad longer. Now, what is rapid eye movement? Well, rapid eye movement is the outer expression of your inner expression. That means when your inner expression is when you're dreaming, when you're actually receiving a dream or carrying out a dream. So rapid eye movement means you're experiencing a dream. Now, what are other signs of a person experiencing a dream? Now, everything dreams. Now, people will say, well, how do we know that? Well, look at some of the pictures that people have placed up on YouTube with their animals or their cat, like their cats and their dogs. And they see the dog asleep. They hear the dog moaning, growling, grumbling, and the legs are moving. That animal is dreaming about chasing a squirrel, chasing a chipmunk, chasing a bird, chasing a car, chasing another dog, perhaps. But it's having a dream experience. Everything, every living being, every living creature dreams. We know the dream. Now, we don't know, well, does vegetation dream? Well, if an animal is dreaming, vegetation is a part of our divine intelligence. It's going through a dream. No one has ever carried it out, but I'm saying that, but I'm quite sure someone has done a test already to see if plant life dreams. Everything is recording something, recording several images. And when we dream at night, usually we have funny dreams, we have serious dreams, we have dreams. Funny dreams are just comical, of life's experience. Sometimes we'll have a dream that makes absolutely no sense. When you wake up in the morning, doesn't matter how many thousands of dream symbols you have. Doesn't matter if you got 100 volumes of dream books. When you try to break it down, numbers, colors, people, plants, everything, and you still don't come up with any information, sometimes you're just letting off steam at night. The body needs to process. The brain needs to process. The mind, which is the totality of you, your emotional, your mental, your physical, and your spiritual, needs to process energy, process light. It's always processing all the time. Even when you feel that you're just laying down and you're going to sleep, it is still processing. So this is something that you have to be aware of. Rapid eye movement. So that means whenever rapid eye movement is going on, you're having a dream experience. And that's good for you to know. Experiencing visions, that's good for you to know. Well, what will happen is sometimes you may have a series of dreams that aren't connected, a series of frames that aren't connected, and then you will have some that are connected. How do you know? You'll only know by studying your dream, the patterns of your dreams. Back when I got out of college, back in 1974, 75, I used to live in New Jersey with one of my late uncles from my mother's side, my Uncle Ansel. And I worked as a security guard at night, And during the daytime, I had plenty of time to explore dreams. And I realized that dreams that were very important or had a very serious connection, maybe I was going to go through something very difficult, those dreams were occurring every 43 to 52 days for me. Now, not because I'm a number 7 person, but I noticed that pattern with myself. 43 days, I really had to take a look at this. That means I was having repetitive dreams. And when I mean repetitive, the same exact language, tone, color of clothing, same personalities in the dream with me, same conversations going on, same feelings that I was picking up in the dream were happening. Just like a play. Every 52 days, very powerful. Then what I notice is the gap between, the number of days between the dream lessened. Meaning instead of it being 60 days, 70, 80, 90 days, really stretching out, it was beginning to compress. So now I had started having some of these dreams were happening to me every night. Same dream. You're having dreams come that fast all the time. Visions come that quick. Repeat all the time. Pay attention. Something's going on. Here's another thing about dreams. Another thing about dreams that's important. The time of day within the dream itself. A morning time, like the crack of dawn, misty time. The dream is still in its incubation stage. The problem or the issue in your life or whatever is going on with you is in a very incubation-like stage. Arbitrary stage. It's not really going anywhere yet. It hasn't settled in yet. It hasn't gotten crystal clear yet. Then, here's another one that kind of kicks off in a very interesting way. You have reoccurring dreams. You see that happen. And you need to pay attention to what goes on in the reoccurring dream. Because you're having it, because there's a lesson there. There's something you have to do. There's a decision that you have to make. Something you've got to be prepared for. But the time of day, now if you're approaching where it's noonday, from like the wee hours of the morning in a dream, more like dawn, going into early part of right after around noontime, that means that's something there that, you've got a little time, you've got the light on it, means you'll be able to comprehend it better. It won't escape your consciousness, you'll be able to understand it. But then when the dream goes toward the late afternoon, and you're seeing that means it's beginning to approach some serious status, meaning something going on in your life. You really got to sit down and begin to work it out, analyze it, because it's beginning to pick up in different ways. Then what happens is when you have a nighttime dream, not meaning you're asleep at night having the dream, but the dream scenario is at night. And when you're having that's more of a critical time. Critical things are going on, and you have to really pay attention. Something very alarming is about to take place. So now you got dawn, morning, midday, and then you got afternoon, but when it approaches evening time within the context of the dream, you're experiencing a nighttime scene. This is critical issues. Critical decisions. You have to get ready to make critical decisions. This is very important. So now, what you want to pay attention to are type of people that are in your dreams. People are ideas. People can be looked at as ideas. And it depends on how you relate to those ideas in a waking state, how you want things to be for yourself. An interesting factor is, let's say you like watching celebrities, and you have a connection to celebrities because you're following celebrities all the time. So you're equating something about the celebrity status with yourself, and then you see that in your dream. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to meet that particular celebrity. What it means is that something about the attributes or the personality is being expressed in your dream. It's describing or painting an image. Well, let's say you have children in your dreams. Well, children are like new ideas. Newborns, brand new ideas. Seniors, old ideas, but ideas that pack a lot of wisdom. Here's something. How about people seeing themselves in a dream driving a vehicle, driving a car, or being the conductor of a train, or subway, or being the airplane pilot? That means you're in control, or you should be in control of your own affairs. But if you're the pilot, it means you're not necessarily in control. You're not the driver. Now, you can look at it this way. If you're in the back seat of a vehicle and you're not the driver, but you're in the back seat, that means you are letting someone dictate your life, control your life for you. If you are a passenger in the front seat, you're choosing that to be. But if you're in the back seat behind the driver, that means you're letting somebody overwhelm you, and they're controlling how your life should be. Now, let's say, we've gone from being the driver, the pilot, to the conductor, to being a willful, likable companion. You're letting the person, you're right in the front seat, but you're not driving, so you feel comfortable with that person. That's another way of looking at it. You're feeling comfortable with that person. But depending on how the energy is to dream, it might tell you not to be so comfortable with letting that person, have that much power over you. But if you're in the back seat, they got the power. Unless you were putting a vibration out where you want to be taken care of, then that's a little different. That's like if you have dreams of wealth and you see yourself sitting in the back of a limousine and someone's driving. That's something you're wishing, you're hoping. That is your desire. You're hoping to have that kind of experience. Animals suggest power. What kind of power you possess. Animals possess power. Birds, power. For instance, if you saw a bear, from a Native American tradition, bears are healers. You're a healer. Saw an eagle. It means you possess the silence to go within and communicate with the Creator. Maybe you see a raven. You have the power to go into dreams and comprehend dreams. These are just a few things to pull out. Maybe you see sage. You use a lot of sage around you, a lot of sandalwood. These are things that create wisdom, or the ambience for wisdom and pleasure and peace and harmony for you. There's so many different ways in which the dream could speak to you, the messages in dreams. So we have the time of day that's important. We have people that's important. We have you if you're driving a vehicle, or whether you're sitting in the front seat, front passenger, or you choose to sit in the back, what that means. You have the age of people, from newborns all the way up to seniors. And they represent the different ideas, or the different ideas that you might have about life itself around yourself. Well, how about buildings? Buildings. Think of a building as the thought processes that you have. Buildings are the thought process. So you see in high-rising buildings, you think high all the time. You think beyond the box all the time. You see in small, congested places, you're closed in with your thinking. Small, congested place, but no roof on the top. You're willing to go to the next level. Doorways in a dream are gateways, portals. From one realm to the next realm, you're seeking to travel. You're seeking to free yourself. You're seeking to open up your mind. So you're looking to go into different sources that can assist you in different ways. But here's another type of thing. Now we're looking at buildings. So if it's a new building, it's a new thought process. Medium age building, medium thought process range. You're still comfortable, you're very complacent with it. Old building, old dilapidated building means the thoughts have to change. The philosophy that you see, how you view yourself, has to change. Elevators, stairs, staircases, elevators, balconies, escalators, these things giving you an opportunity to go up and down the ladder of success for yourself. It's what you choose to elevate to, or how you choose to get there. Vessels of transportation, cars, trains, subways, buses, airplanes. These represent different forms of security: bicycles, motorbikes, mopeds, skateboards, skates, ice skates. These are different ways of feeling secure. Now, anything, again, that allows you to be the only one in control of it, then your sense of security rests with yourself. You want to be in control of that. If you're looking at the vehicles where you're sharing it with more than one person on board, then you feel secure when there's a lot of people, like if you see yourself on subways, buses, trains, planes. So you see that. That's what your heart calls for. Again, these are different ways of looking at dreams. Now, it's not the end-all way. There's just a source, a general source of information. Another thing is numbers that appear in dreams. If you know something about numerology, you've got numbers to work with. You see the number 1, or the series of anything that reduces to a number 1. It's about self, your self-image. Or maybe you're dealing with someone born under the sign of Leo who will draw an Aquarius person. Then you see something that adds the 4, definitely an Aquarian person. Or let's say something that adds the 7, more of a Pisces individual. 6 could be Taurus and Libra people. 5s could be Gemini and Virgo personalities. Or you might look at the number as telling you what to do. Let's say you see numbers that have a lot of 9s in it in your dream, or adds to the number 9. It's telling you to watch out for arguments, but speak your mind. Be assertive, but don't be aggressive. Avoid belligerent personalities. Avoid throwing temper tantrums. Open up your mind. Reach for the impossible. Know that you can get anything you want in your life. Different concepts. Then you have colors. Colors is another way in dreams that can give you a hint on the emotional side and the mental side. For instance, if you're looking at in the dream, and this is also when you go into colors, takes you into how you see places designed with colors. We'll do that at another time. Places designed with colors, or people wearing colors. But let's say in the dream, you see a person wearing all black in a dream. Doesn't mean that they're being negative, but it could mean that the person has a significant degree of power and authority to work with, just like if you see them wear them all white or royal purple. But depending on the culture that you feel drawn to, you might see yellow. So yellow is in the Chinese emperor time periods, yellow is a powerful color. Jade green's powerful colors. So there's many ways that you can be drawn to it. You can also use your knowledge of Western chakra systems to connect with the colors, or Tibetan system to connect with the colors. So for instance, if you saw in a Tibetan, if you saw a royal purple, that means your spirituality is going to manifest into the root chakra of you. And if in the Tibetan, if you see red on top of the head, that means you are a spiritual master. Okay, you're going to be ruling like within a spiritual government over yourself, perhaps, being more sovereign. But if you're using Western chakra system and you see the red at the top, it's not necessary that you're going to be the master. Maybe you got too much of the root chakra up in your head. You need to ground that energy a little bit more. So there's so many different ways of using colors here as an example in your dreams. Numbers be an example in your dreams. Be a number on a building telling you something. Person holding a number telling you something. Everything leading and giving you a hint all the time. So these things are important. But these are different languages, and everybody there's a universal language for dreams, and then there's a certain way that we are experiencing our dreams at the same time. So now I briskly have covered the concept of dreams and symbols. Why don't I take you into a very brief original creative pathwork meditation? Dreaming your way for success. Well, you can call it dream for success. You've already been in this deep meditative state with me while you're taking in this information. This is live webcast number 145 for Wednesday, August the 10th, 2011. You're here for the morning show, Decree and It Shall Be, which is teaching all about the science and the art of prayers, affirmations, meditations, and decrees. But specifically on these morning shows, I'm adding you some free webinars, introducing you to some of the many teachings that are in my spiritual and metaphysical institute called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance, which is the institute for my spiritual and metaphysical ministry called the Circle of Grace 1. Now, what you want to do right now is, remember I had you focus on the base of your skull, the magenta color. For that chakra, for the base of your skull, that's the house of your own Akashic records back there too, on you. Okay, so your Akashic realm on you, dimension, is in the base of your skull. That point where the nape of your neck touches where your head, that crease, right there, and going up in a little hollow there, and the little soft part right there. The chakra color is like a magenta. Now, carrying that magenta range, and we're not going to keep this meditation long, but allow you to take it further for yourself later. Place your awareness right there. Place the tongue at the top of the two front teeth in your mouth. Place your awareness to go deeper into that point, that region. And you kind of almost, you might say, program yourself for this, because perhaps you might have time to take a nap later on today. Maybe you work at night and can sleep during the daytime. Or those of you that get ready to, can sleep at night, you can do this. But you want to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, and then do all the breathing through the nose. If you need to, feel the presence of white light and gold light all around your body, expanding out beyond your studio, your room, wherever you are, your office. And there's white light and gold light extending beyond your residence in your apartment, your office building, outside. Good. Now what you want to do right now is within yourself, as if you were going into the state of dreaming, but you're consciously awake, dreaming for success. Taking into your mind, into the base of your skull, sifting through the files, the infinite files of the part of you that's very successful. Maybe you want to be a well-known artist or musician, well-known teacher or healer or doctor, well-known medicine person, shaman, well-known herbalist, chemist. Maybe you want to excel in photography or music, acting, writing Broadway plays, or writing and directing and producing movies. As you place your awareness there, I want you to make a direct connection between there and the heart center, right around your sternum. And breathe through there as well. And then breathe through the base of your throat that connects to your ears, so that you can hear your message, hear your dream. You can speak your dream, hear your dream, hear it here. Feel and sense and know your dream in a compassionate way. Locking into your temples, your brow center, hairline, top of the head, and the crown, and back there again. This whole energy source, if you want it, can expand itself and go all the way around your body. Layers of light. See yourself prepare for sleep now. Now don't do this if you're driving a car. You need to pull over the side of the road. Don't attempt to do this while driving. In fact, if you're on a subway, you're on a bus with other people, do not do this. You'll pass off. Don't want you to do that. go to some place where you can be quiet. You can be consciously aware of your surroundings at all times. Maybe you're in a park. Ideal place. All right, now as you're going this direction, you want to stay wide awake within yourself, be consciously aware in your remembrance. As you do this, you're going to step now into that zone of seeing yourself asleep. And as you go into that state of sleep, witnessing yourself fall asleep in this journey, seeing yourself fall asleep, see your soul energy not disconnect from your body, but see it step into a zone of sleep as well within your physical vessel. Within that physical material vessel, the soul is now asleep. It is consciously aware. The spirit of the soul within is just moving about. Going deep now, you see a doorway opening to you, and there is a chamber full of light and full of everything in there imaginable that will assist you. Maybe it's a tool, maybe it's people that you need to meet and see. Maybe it's someone that you know you need to speak to but you haven't been, who can help you go to that next level. You see yourself within the dream, dreaming this brand new day for yourself, this brand new reality for yourself. You see yourself interacting with the right people at the right time, and everything is getting better for you as you do it. You see yourself breaking out of your shyness for the first time, breaking out of shyness and allowing yourself to connect. You see yourself talking to those people who can help you, men and women who can help you. People who could, maybe you're trying to be a great singer or a great speaker, so you got a voice coach to help you. Maybe you want to be a fashion designer, interior decorator designer, a chef. You're meeting the right people. They're showing you what to do, showing you where you have to go, showing you the information you have to gather and you have to comprehend. You see yourself. The soul part of yourself knows this, remembers this. The soul part of yourself has called this forward. And now the soul is stepping into your sleeping body within you, bringing the message, bringing the teachings. And if you haven't stepped back in, let your soul move back toward your body. Your body has not gone anywhere. It has expanded. It has opened. The DNA structure has opened up. Great grids of light. And you're now in there as the soul. The spirit is pulling all things to itself. All the lessons that you need, all the tools that you need, all the people that you need. You may not realize that the people are right there around you, but they're there. You are connecting with those people. You're allowing yourself to connect with them. And now as you allow yourself to connect with these people, as you allow yourself to connect with these people, you're now reawakening to the fact that you know the answer. You know what to do now. You know how to be. You know how to become. You know exactly what you need to do. It's just your remembrance. And as you move in this remembrance and this greater awareness that you are dreaming a new reality, a new you, you're now affirming, I'm this new person. I have great health, and my health produces great wealth. I'm excited about life. My life, I'm achieving. Not only am I believing in myself, but I'm achieving these things. The hopes and dreams are not away from me. They're right in my hand, and I'm living it. You're excited about it. You're moving toward it. Now see yourself within this journey reawaken. The spirit and the soul, which is your higher self, God in you, wakening up off the couch, sitting there, maybe looking around, maybe just laying in the bed, seated in your chair. Take a deep breath and know you're back. Be well, be of grace, divine grace, beauty, enlightenment, harmony. Know that you are that. You're full of beauty, you're full of unconditional love, as we spoke of earlier today in this lesson. Well, thank you so much. Tonight I'll be back for live webcast number 146. I should be on at about 6:30 p.m. This is for Decree and It Shall Be, and I hope you had enjoyed this. I hope you got a lot out of this. We talked about some of the highlights of dreams and how to interpret dreams, how to analyze dreams for yourself, and we just completed a short creative path work meditation called Dreaming for Success. For you, to make your life more successful, make the journey more playful and fun for you. Know that your destiny is something that you don't have to worry about, but you should be concerned how you want your destiny to be for you. You're choosing how you want it to be, so you might as well realize that you're creating it. You are creating your destiny, your life path, right here, right now, with whatever you're thinking and whatever you feel. The Circle of Grace 1 was founded on July 2nd, 1999 AD, under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence. This is a spiritual and metaphysical ministry that is now 12 years old, and it's exploring the last 3 years right online and having a great time. It also gave birth to its own spiritual and metaphysical institute called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance on February 7th, 2009. Well, I'm Bishop Francis E. Revels-Bey. I'm the host, chief principal teacher, and founder of the Circle Grace 1, as well as the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. If you need to be in touch with me, you can always email me at iam.circleofgrace with the number 1 at the end at yahoo.com, or you can use Bishop Francis as one word at circleofgrace with the number 1 at the end .net. You can see my shows here in the archives. I have some things at YouTube that you might have an interest in. You can subscribe over there as well. If you're on Facebook and you'd like to befriend me on Facebook, you can befriend me and like me through Facebook. I'm there. You can look me up as Bishop Francis E. Revels-Bey, or Francis E. Revels-Bey, or Francis Revels-Bey. Or you can look it up through the Circle of Grace 1. I'm right there with the Circle of Grace 1 page. Thank you so much for listening. If you need to call me, call my Skype number Monday through Friday between the hours of 9 a.m. and 6 p.m., 973-685-5978. That's 973-685-5978. You can call it usually every first Saturday as well, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., all times Eastern Daylight and Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to listen to a special multi-purpose prayer, why don't you just call 505-717-4722. That's 505-717-4722. If you have a landline phone, 4722 begins to spell the word grace. And that's a multi-purpose decree. You can call that line 24 hours, 7 days a week, and listen to that multi-purpose decree. I hope it does something for you. It brings healing, wellness, happiness for you, and uplifts your spirit and those who are around you. If you need to call my Circle of Grace 1 mobile number, you're free to call that number Monday through Thursday only between the hours of 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. The Circle of Grace 1 number to call is 908-878-2978. That's 908-878-2978. Well, until next time, I'll see you here tonight. If you'd like to come back at 6:30 p.m., 6:45 p.m. for another show of Decree and It Shall Be. It'll be a live webcast number 146. We'll be here at 6:30 p.m. right here at Ustream on the Circle of Grace 1 channel. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we're alive and well in the age of remembrance.